In 1892, a Methodist preacher stood in the lobby of his own church hall and watched the football club he'd founded 8 years earlier vote him out, take his lease, and rename themselves after the street they were about to abandon. That preacher was Benjamin Chambers, and the club was Everton. But the story starts a decade earlier, in the slums of Liverpool's North End, where Chambers ran St. Domingo's Methodist New Connection Chapel. His congregants, mostly dock workers and tradesmen, spent their wages on drink. Chambers needed a distraction that didn't involve a sermon. So in 1878, he started a cricket club. Winter came, and the cricket club had nothing to do. So they switched to football. They called themselves St. Domingo FC, played on a patch of waste ground, and spent more time chasing the ball off the pitch than passing it. Within a year, the club needed a real ground. They moved to a field on the corner of Anfield Road and Walton Breck Road, later shortened to Anfield, and renamed themselves after the local district, Everton. By 1885, they were charging admission, drawing 1,000 spectators, and paying players under the table. Professionalism was technically illegal in the Football Association until 1885, but Everton, like most northern clubs, had been doing it quietly for years. The FA legalised it because they had no choice. The clubs were already professionals in everything but name. Everton joined the Football League in its first season, 1888, and immediately became one of the best teams in England. But Benjamin Chambers didn't control the club anymore. The man who did was John Holding, a local brewer and Conservative councillor who owned the Sandon Hotel across from Anfield. Holding had loaned the club money to improve Anfield, and in return, he became president and landlord. By 1890, Everton were drawing 15,000 fans per match. Holding raised the rent. Then he raised it again. He also insisted that the club buy beer exclusively from his brewery and hold all social events at his hotel. The committee, still led by Chambers and other original members, voted to find a new ground. Holding refused to let them out of the lease. So in January 1892, the committee called an emergency general meeting at Chambers's Church Hall on Everton Road. They voted to leave Anfield, take the name Everton with them, and move to a field across Stanley Park called Goodison Park. Holding was left with a stadium, no team, and no legal claim to the name. So he founded a new club to fill Anfield, Liverpool FC. Everton and Liverpool played their first derby in 1894. Benjamin Chambers, the man who founded both clubs, wasn't at the match. He'd resigned from Everton's committee in 1889, pushed out as the club professionalised and distanced itself from its Methodist roots. He died in 1917, having never attended another Everton match. The club he founded to keep men out of pubs became the property of a brewer, split into two rival clubs in a fight over rent, and turned his church hall into the site of the most bitter boardroom war in English football. Next time, we cross the Pennines to Manchester, where two railway workers founded a club in a pub and spent the next 100 years pretending they didn't.